Hi, this is Pradeep Kumar, and here I am going to tell you about a simple example on Linux commands for beginners. So once Linux is ready, how do you use the commands to learn further? So this topic will tell you more about the Linux commands that can be used if you are a beginner. So I have a terminal opened here. So I will give this information also in my blog. In the meantime, I will just show you how to give these commands in terminal and how to use them. So the very first command, so this is the terminal. So when you want to open any terminal, you have to go this way, press the window key, or we call super key, and then type terminal. So when you click this, you will get a terminal open like this. Okay, and here is my terminal. It gets opened here. Now the first command anyone will try out will be the ls command. So ls is the command to list the files and folders of Linux. So I have the first command ls. Ls is to list the files and folders. Ls have taken various formats. Ls space -l means a list in long format. Means that it will show you all the format available. For example, ls-l means it will show you what is the name of the file, what is the name of the who is the name of the owner, who is the name of the group, and the size of the file, and which date is created, and what is the name of the file. And we have some mode. Shortly I'll come about this mode of the file. Okay, so suppose if you want to list only a few letters of it, a few files within the from the beginning, so you can use more. So more means it will show you only a few of it. So it will show only a little bit of files. So maybe I'll just show you that using the clear screen. So ls space -l pipe, and this symbol is called as pipe symbol. So this is a pipe symbol wherein this output is fed to this input. So that's what it means. So when you see that, it will show only the first 10 files, and when you want to extend further, you can use the enter key to list further. So this is how the way the command works, ls-l. I shortly elongate it. Okay, so now there is next command called as clear the screen. The second command will be clear the screen. So clear the screen, but it will be only clearing the screen, not from the buffer. So for example, if you want to clear it, so still you can go to the top and see the previous commands. So the current screen what is visible to the user will only be cleared, and it will not be cleared from the buffer. So this will be the second command. So for example, if you want to go for a third command, so this is called as present working directory. So we call it as pwd. So when you type pwd, it will tell you which is a folder currently you are working on. So I am in this folder /home/Pradeep Kumar. So for example, if I use cd space dot dot, so this means the previous folder. So when I see previous folder, now when you type pwd, so we are going to one folder above that, so it will be /home. And when you type ls, so only one user is there called as Pradeep Kumar. So if you want to come to this folder, cd space Pradeep Kumar. So now when you use pwd, you are in this folder now. Now for example, if I go like this, cd etc init.d. So now I clear the screen. Now when I type pwd, it will show you are in the folder etc/init.d. So pwd will be one of the important command wherein you can know about where the current directory the user is currently working on. And next thing is echo. Echo is a command. It's very useful for shell scripting. So for example, if I echo something, echo Pradeep, it will display Pradeep here. So echo nsname.com will display this, and echo pradeepkumar.org will display this. So whatever we echo, it will be displayed. But not only that, echo has so many advantages. So for example, if you want to know what kind of shell you are using for your the Linux is using, you can use echo $shell. You can see that SHELL in the uppercase letters. Then it will show you /bin/bash. So it means that we are using born again shell. So echo $shell is one command which shows the type of shell your Linux is using. Likewise, we have echo $home, echo $user echo $path, and there are various other variables also we can play around. So for example, echo $path, when you see how the path information has been set. So these are the path information we have set in Linux operating system in my machine, for example. Now when you see echo $home, so in which home currently you are now, it will show you /home/Pradeep Kumar. So corresponding to the user, it will show you something else also. Now when you see echo $user, means what is the username you are logged into. I logged into username of Pradeep Kumar. So in case if you want to change the password of Pradeep Kumar, you can use passwd. So changing the password for Pradeep Kumar. So for this user, I am going to change the program user. For example, if I want to convert this to user, I made it wrong, so unchanged. So again I use passwd. I use the current password, then I use the new password what I am going to plan. So new password is too simple. So it does not ask for any password, so I will go with the complicated password. Yes, now the password is changed. So the Linux Mint, the latest version does not accept every basic password. So in turn I have changed a very complex password. Okay, now I clear the screen. So the next command will be on passwd to change the password of the current user. So please remember, we have two commands, pwd and passwd. Both are completely different. Pwd is for to find the present working directory. Passw is to change the current user password. So whenever you want to come out of this screen, so for example, if you want to close this task, you can press Ctrl C. Okay, so now I clear the screen. So now we are in the current folder of etc init.d. So if you want to come to the home folder, because all your operations you can, it's advisable to use your home folder, your home. So if you want to come out of come to your home directly, so you can use cd space tilde on the symbol, or else you can directly press cd and press enter. So when you type cd and press enter, you are currently coming to your home directly. So now I am in the folder /home/Pradeep Kumar. So you can be in any folder, anywhere you may be operating your operating system, but whenever you want to come to your home back, you can press cd enter, or you can press cd tilde also. You can come to the home directly. So next command will be cd. So changing the directory. Okay. So assuming since you are the beginner of using the Linux, assuming that you want to know about a particular command. For example, I want to know about how to create a directory. I know a command, but I don't know how to use it. So Linux comes with a manual called as man space the name of the command. So for example, if I want to create a directory mkdir, I know the command mkdir. If you want to know it, when I see that, it will tell you how to use this command. So name of the command, and what are the different attributes for the command, and who has written what, and everything will be shown in the manual. So by default, all the Linux operating system comes with a manual. So if you want to use quit this, press Q, that's it. So now if you want to create a folder, I can create mkdir test folder. I want to create a folder mkdir test folder. Okay, now when I type ls, I can able to see whether test folder is created or not. So here I got my test folder ready. So if you want to move to that, so I will just go to cd space test underscore folder. So what I do is, every time I need not type everything test underscore folder like that. I need not type every time. It's also correct, but once in a while I can use cd t and press the tab. So if you press the tab twice, so it will show you all the folders and files available with the first letter T. Now second letter E, and then press a tab, automatically it completes. So it is autocomplete. So you can use your tab key effectively to autocomplete it. Now the next command will be mkdir to create a directory. Then 7, press tab to autocomplete the commands in Linux. So this is a very advantageous one, so that you need not type the entire folder directly. So better that you can able to press the tab command. So type the few letters of the command, starting letters of the command and press the tab, it auto completes. Okay, so the next command is over. Now next is chmod. I was telling about this ls-l. When I press this command, I go to the home, ls-l. When I press this command, you can see that this file, you can see this file, and you can see this folder, pictures, or see your test folder, and this file or this file. These are all files. The blue color indicate they are all folders. So in your operating system, this coloring can be different, but here I use Linux Mint operating system. So I'll just mention it. So OS used is Mint Linux Mint 17.1 64-bit OS. Okay, so this is what operating system I am using it here now. Now it shows me rw dash r dash dash r dash dash. This is what it shows. So what it shows is so r w, okay. So actually the first hyphen indicate it is a file. The first, if it is a D, then it is called a directory. So wherever the D comes in the first letter, it is called a directory. See, public is a folder, shell is a folder, template is a folder, test underscore folder is a folder, tracegraph is a folder, videograph is a folder. But whereas tracegraph 2.2.targz, it is first letter is hyphen. If it is a hyphen, then this file indicate it is a file, it is not a folder. But these things are folder. Okay, now you can see rwx, r dash x, r dash x, or here you can see rwx, r dash dash, r dash dash. So usually Linux handles that in a different way. Any file rwx, it is like this, rwx, and this is what we call it as. The first rwx will be for the owner of the file. So for example, if I use this way, the second will be for the group, and finally will be for the other users. So what kind of permission you are giving to this file as a owner? So you are the owner as a group. Suppose if you are in your class or in your group, there are some 25 members in a group. Between the 25 members, you want to share this file, you can use it. And others means other than groups and other than the owner, if there are other users, what kind of permission you want to give. Now one example is, you can see rw dash, no, in my case I use this rw dash r dash dash r dash dash. So what I am doing is ownership has the read and the write permission. The owner has the read and write, but this file is not an executable file, so no execution permission. R for reading, I will take this way, R read, W write, and X execute. So this file is not executable, so all the users are prohibiting to execute this file, but the owner has a reading and writing permission, but group has only read permission and others have only read permission. So means that this file is a non-executable file wherein they can read and write, and the other users and groups, they can only read, they cannot write it. If you want to change this, there is a new command called as chmod. So a beautiful representation is there. If you take in binary, so leave out the first dash. If you take binary, 111 means read write x, and next 111, next 111. So if you take in decimal numbers, the first value is 7. 7 means 111 is 7. This is 7 and this is 7. So if you want to give all permission to everyone else, you can use ch777. So chmod 777. The name of the file is tracegraph. So I'll do it here in the command. You can see the command chmod 777 tracegraph, and this is the file name. So if I want to give this permission, and the command is executed fine, and if you use ls-l, now you can see that the tracegraph, I got the permission of rwx. Though it is not executable file, but I can change the permission to execute it, but it won't execute. But anyhow, I am giving the permission for execution for everybody else. So 77 is the topmost. It's a free thing that you are giving. Everyone have every access. Means that anyone can access in any form. They can write it, they can read, they can execute whatever they want to do it. So this is what we call it as chmod. So chmod is a command called as change mode. So the command we call it as change mode. So chmod will be for changing the mode of the file. Okay, so if you want to change it to something else, for example chmod 755 trace graph .gz, then if you see ls-l, now no rewriting permission, but everyone has reading and execution permission. So all your executable file, like when you create a file, a C programming file, if you want to execute the output, then you can give the execution permission, but a binary file cannot be written. In that case, you can block the binary. I mean, you can block the users, other users, and the group users in writing to a file. It's a complete binary file. So that way you can give this way. So 77 is the ultimate permission, and below that we can give something. So if you want to give something like chmod 666 means 110 110, so no execution, only reading and writing for everyone else. So this way you can give it. So for example chmod 666, and this is what my file now here. So I use rw. So this is the next command wherein we can able to use chmod. So totally in this session we have totally seen around 8 commands. ls, it lists the files and folders. Clear is to clear the screen. pw is a present working directory. Echo is the command to echo to something to the screen, and it is very useful for shell scripting. $home, $user, $path, and passwd means it's changing the password of the user. cd, changing directory. mk, create a directory, and chmod is the next command. Chmod will be changing the mode of the file. So totally 8 commands. So maybe I'll show you the 9th command, uname. So this uname is very important. If you want to know about what kind of kernel you are using, what kind of operating system you are using, what kind of 64-bit or 32-bit what you are using, so this command will tell you everything. So when you type uname and press enter, it will show you Linux. That means you are using a Linux operating system. So Linux kernel operating system. So if you want to display all the properties of the uname, I can use uname space -a. So uname, so you can give the command also man uname. So print the system information. So uname is to print the system information. So to print system information, and here uname -a will be the ultimate command, or else you can use uname -all, so that it will display all. So the command will be uname -a or uname -all. So either way it will print all the information, and the uname has various versions. For example, you can see here uname -r. It using the name of the version of the kernel, meaning that 3.13 will be is the kernel currently my machine is using. Uname -s, it is for Linux. Uname -p, it is what kind of architecture. So I have a 64-bit operating system, so it shows me 64-bit, x86 and 64. If you are using 32-bit operating system, it will show you i686. And uname has if you do some wrong thing, it will show you something. So okay, unrecognized option. So in general you can print all these things. So you have a Linux machine, the name of the machine, the kernel version, and what type of Ubuntu I am using. Ubuntu 64-bit is a thing, multi-processing, and what is the date you have used it, and what is the time clock you have, and what is the 64-bit architecture, and name of the kernel will be operating system will be GNU/Linux. So this is the 9th command. So on 10th command I will show you rm. So rm is a very powerful command. I can able to delete any content in Linux by using the rm command. So for example, you can see I will delete this file first.sh. The command is rm first.sh. I can delete it directly. So when I type ls, now the first.sh is deleted. So means that rm to remove the file, and to remove the file or folder, I can remove the folder also. Okay, now one example is I have created a test folder. So what I do is I go inside the test folder by using cd command, and I create a file vi hello.c. I create a file and I put some contents. So now I have a hello.c. Now rmdir, there's a command to delete the folder, a test folder. Now this will say that directory not empty means already the test underscore folder has a file called as hello.c. So unless you delete hello.c, you cannot delete this folder using the rmdir command. But suppose if only one file is there, if the folder has thousands of folders inside and every folder has some files inside, then deletion is very tougher. So for that rm has a solution, rm space -rf and test underscore folder. So -r is for recursive. R is for recursive means that it recursively go inside folder and then delete all the files and then delete the folder also finally. So when you type this command, it will delete the entire folder. So see, there's a success, -test underscore folder. So when you type and ls and see, this complete folder is deleted. Test underscore folder nowhere exists. So that means it's deleted. So these are all some of the basic commands wherein anyone can practice it. So ls, rm, mkdir, cd, clear, pwd, passwd, and uname. Then that's all for this session. So since I consider this as part 1, so the part 2, part 3 kinds of commands you can able to view from my website. So my website topic is http www.pradeepkumar.org, or you can try out www.nsnam.com. So these are my two websites where I post information about Linux, embedded systems, operating systems, real-time systems, network simulators and other softwares. Thanks for your time.